So hi and assalamualaikum to everyone. We are from Group 1. We will present about petroleum system in Deepwater place. Next slide. So this is our group member. Consists of myself, Subbha bin Shawali, Scott Ryan, Anak Ronnie, Abdul Rahman bin Zailani, and Ammar bin Zuraidy. So this is our table of content. So we will talk about introduction, source rock, reservoir rock, seal, trap, major migration, petroleum system chart, and case study. For the introduction, petroleum system. The petroleum system consists of mature source rock, migration, pathway, reservoir rock, and trap and seal. So what is deepwater? In the oil and gas exploration and production industry, deep water is defined as water depth greater than 1,000 feet. Okay, for the source rock. Okay, source rock defined as rock from which hydrocarbon have been generated or are capable of being generated. Source rock also defined as organic rich, fine grain sediment deposited under low energy reducing condition. So source rock quality depends on amount and type of corrosion and stage of maturity. For the fluid determination, they are the fluid composition, thermal history, and organic material that is rich in fatty organic material.
Okay, thank you, Subbha. So I will continue about the reservoir rock. So for the reservoir rock, what is reservoir rock? So the reservoir rock is a porous and permeable lithological unit or set of unit that hold the hydrocarbon reserve. So there are two things, which is porosity and permeability. Porosity is to calculate the stock tank oil initially in place or or gas initially in place. So there are two types of porosity, which is primary and secondary. The second one is permeability. So permeability is to calculate how easily the hydrocarbon will flow out of them. So there are three types of permeability, which is absolute, effective, and relative. Next. So porosity for sandstone. Sandstone usually has a regular grain and referred as a grainstone. So there are four types, which is fractures, intergranular, micropores, and dissolution. And next, for porosity for carbonate, there are 7 types of them, which is the interparticle porosity, intergranular porosity, intercrystalline porosity, vulgy porosity, fracture porosity, channel porosity, and moldy porosity. And next, so for permeability, there are two types. How we can determine the permeability by looking at the reservoir. So for class T reservoir, we can determine mainly by the grain size and packing, connectivity, and shear content. And for carbonate reservoir, we can determine by the deposition and past deposition event of fractures. So let's move on to the seal. So seal is an impermeable rock that acts as a barrier to further migration of hydrocarbon liquid. So here are some examples of the pictures of the seal. And next, we go on with the traps. So there are 3 types of traps. So first is stratigraphic trap, which is formed as the result of the lateral and vertical variation in the thickness, texture, porosity, and lithology of the reservoir rock or a break in its continuity. And second one is the combination traps, which is the result of the combination of tectonic process and changes in lithology. And structural traps, which is the result from a local deformation such as folding or faulting of the rock layers. So there are 5 types of which is truncated, pitch out, salt dome, anticline, and fork. So next, I will pass to my other teammates.
Hello, Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Ammar. I will continue about the mature and migration. So next slide. So for the maturation, what is maturation? Maturation is the process of a source rock becoming capable of generating oil or gas when exposed to appropriate pressures and temperatures. So this graph is example of the maturation. So next slide. So for migration, it has many migration like primary migration, secondary migration, tertiary, and more. But normally for deep water, for water basin, we use primary migration and secondary migration. So for primary migration is the movement of newly generated hydrocarbon from source rock to reservoir rock is called primary migration, and the secondary migration is the movement of petroleum within the porous and permeable reservoir bed. So next slide. So for the migration also, primary is slow and proceed over short distance, which can cause compaction and diffusion, while the secondary is faster and can proceed over very long distance and can cause a buoyancy force. So next slide. So petroleum system chart. So what is petroleum system chart? Petroleum system event chart it show time on one axis and the essential elements and process on the other. So the time required for generation, migration, and accumulation process is the same as the age of the system. So the chart also show the preservation time and critical moment of the system. So normally, petroleum system event consists of 9 element, which is the stratigraphic, source rock, reservoir rock, seal rock, overburden rock, track formation, generation, migration, accumulation, preservation, and critical moment. So the most important two element is the preservation and critical moment. So critical moment is the time that best despite the generation, migration, accumulation of hydrocarbon in a petroleum system. And the last one is critical moment. Is a petroleum system begin immediately after the generation, migration, accumulation process occur and extend to the present day. So next slide. So this is an example of petroleum system chart of Malay Basin, which is a deep water basin. So like you can see, is from the chart have a group I and group H. So for the group I, group I petroleum system is a mainly gas system, and some oil may be generated from the source rock. And since the group I source rock are deeper, which greater than 200 to 2000 deeper, 2000 meter deeper, vertical migration of hydrocarbon is the mechanism for charging the relatively shallow reservoir. So I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi. So now I will present for my part, which is our case study. So we did our case study for the Malay Basin province. So as you can see, the offshore Malay Basin province is a tertiary oil and gas province with depth of at approximately 3,280 feet, which is 1,000 meter, to 11,000 feet, which is 3,500 meter, which can classify that Malay Basin is a deep water petroleum system. So the source rocks for Malay Basin is lacustrine shale and also continental clastics. And then for the trap, it mainly consists of anticlines and fault traps. Okay, so for the reservoir rock in Malay Basin, it is usually classified as sandstones and also feldspar, while the seal rock is a transgressive shale seal and also marine shale. Okay, so moving on to Gulf of Mexico, which is another deep water. So Gulf of Mexico is one of the most active deep water areas in the world for petroleum exploration and also development, with water depth around 1,500 feet, which is 458 meters, to 10,000 feet, which is 3,300 meters. So as you can see, for the source rocks of Gulf of Mexico, there are two types of major source rocks that are in the deep water they will deposit, which is the Oxfordian and also the Titonian source rock. And then for the reservoir rock of Gulf of Mexico, it is mainly control the porosity and permeability of the depositional elements are the sandstone, which is the basic sedimentary sedimentology of units, and also the depth of burial. So here are the reference that we use for our slide presentation. And thank you very much. That's all for our presentation for